As you can see, I'm doing this a little bit differently this week. This is going to be part of a little bit of a different weekly series of cold cases that I'm going to be profiling. There behind me stands Happy's Chili Parlor, a Paducah staple for almost 100 years. It started off as just a small market, little restaurant market type area. In 1920 something. It was owned by Happy Eugene Thomas's mother, and then when I believe the father passed away, Happy Eugene actually was living up in Chicago working in the steel mills, and he traded the steel mills for the grill and the barbecue pit. And it's still running today, and sometime a little later it became Happy's Chili Parlor. It's actually still in operation today. That's a little profile on the restaurant and the business itself, but the real reason we're here is because of the shooting of Mr. Happy. Eugene Happy Thomas was closing up shop about 3 a.m. in late October of 1998. He got a ride a short distance right about there to his home. He was 74 years old, and unfortunately he never made it into the house. He was shot in the chest and the head and proceeded to pass out on his front porch steps. He was taken to the hospital where fortunately he regained consciousness, but couldn't explain and couldn't tell exactly who committed the murder or the assault at the time. He would live until January the 11th when he did have cardiac arrest. I'm not sure. I did my research, but I didn't think if they put the two and two together, if it was because of the shooting or if it was because of the cardiac arrest of just natural causes and old age. I'm going to show you the house here in just a few minutes. But a little bit more about Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy was a well-to-do, well-known businessman with a great smile, but you didn't cross him. And I mean that in a great way. I mean that in a good way. Like when you come in, you knew there were parameters. I read a story on Facebook about a delivery man who said they were making deliveries here. And he said he did it one time. He said he put his dirty wheels on Happy's clean floor, and he knew better after that. So Happy was a character. Happy was a well-known businessman here in the Paducah area. But his son, Eugene Thomas Jr., is still running the business. He's open a couple of days a week, still making the great food that everyone has grown to love for almost 100 years. It was on those front steps where Happy was assaulted about 3 in the morning. There were people, they said that people were standing and hanging around about 50 to 100 yards away from that saw it, but through different interviews throughout the years, nobody would ever come forward and say exactly what happened. The report of the two men was contradicted a few years later. Detectives even used tactics, kind of as leverage to try to get people to talk, but unfortunately, they never would. I'm here in front of the McCracken County Courthouse. I couldn't find Happy's grave. He's in the biggest cemetery in Paducah, and it's widely spread out. So my apologies that I can't do a memorial service at the actual grave site. So I figured I would just come down here and get the courthouse in the background. So this case is still cold. This case was never solved. For years and years, they tried to put ads out in the paper and tried to get more people to come forward, but nobody ever has. The only gracious thing about this entire situation is that when Happy was able to regain his consciousness, he did say that he forgave those that shot him, even though he didn't know who they were. So it just kind of goes to show what kind of man that you were dealing with. They still think the motive was maybe robbery, as he was a business owner. He had just closed up that night, so maybe he had a substantial amount of cash on him. His wallet was found in the backyard, but that didn't lead them to anything that would assist or help in any way. But this is for Happy. This is for Mr. Eugene Thomas. I hope you're resting well in peace. And I hope that one day, maybe one day, somebody will come forward and have to answer for what they did to you. I'm Danny J. Bailey. This has been Neighborhood Noir.